Hello guys, Simmer Down here with a video explaining how to download and set up Splitsies Scrapyard scenario here on Space Engineers. I've noticed a few people asking how to set up and run the Scrapyard scenario. They've had a little bit of issues with it. I've seen this on a few different videos, and I also noticed that there aren't really any videos showing all of the steps to download it, set it up, and get it running properly. So hopefully this video will help you get your own Scrapyard adventure going. I just started my own series, and so far it's actually a lot of fun. It makes Space Engineers seem like a completely different game and definitely adds quite a bit of challenge to it. I'll go ahead and link that down in the description if you're interested in watching it. So the first thing you want to do is open up the workshop for Space Engineers and go ahead and search Scrapyard. So there's actually a couple of options. There's the Scrapyard scenario and Scrapyard Cetrius start. Initially, when I started, I did the Scrapyard scenario until I learned that this one is a little bit outdated compared to the Cetrius start one. So if you want to play on, say, the Earth-like planet or Pertam or something like that, probably better off using the Scrapyard scenario right here, because it allows you to select which planet you want to start on. However, Cetrius start is more updated, and in my opinion, the planet Cetrius is gorgeous. So this is probably the best bet unless you want to play on a different planet. So go ahead, I already have it downloaded, but you'll want to click subscribe to Cetrius start. That simple, that's all you have to do in the workshop. All right, once you have subscribed to it in the workshop, go ahead and open up Space Engineers and start a new game. And you're going to want to go to Community Content, and you should see it here in Community Content, as well as the other one. If, like I said, you wanted to do this on Earth-like or Pertam or something, you'll want to use this one. But for video sake, I'm going to show you Cetrius because it is awesome. All you have to do, you can click on customize. You're not really going to be able to change anything right off the bat. All of these are locked. That's the way Splitsies made it. I do like to at least switch it to offline mode. And literally all you have to do is hit start and wait for it to load. And then the game is going to automatically load right here. You've already got the rover. It's not going to start like a normal survival world does where you're coming in the drop pod. You immediately start on the planet, and really that's pretty much it. Once you have your game started like this, you can go ahead and exit, save your changes, and what you can do from there is you have your new start, and from there you can edit your settings, which is something that I like to do. You can play it just like it is. It's going to have all of the mods that Splitsies has incorporated into the scenario. So these are all the ones that he's added, and it works perfectly just like this. However, there are a few mods that I do recommend. The first one is build info. It's very, very useful. You can make adjustments on blocks just by looking at them. So I'll go ahead and add that in. Another mod that I really like playing with is the sleep mod. Smarter suit is very nice. Hostile takeover. And one of the most important ones, I don't know if it makes a huge difference as far as the Cetrius planet goes, but definitely if you're on like Earth-like or something, you want smooth voxels. That's going to get rid of all the insane ridges and stuff that will absolutely destroy a rover. So those mods, you can go ahead and add them in. Same with all of your advanced settings. You can change them now if you want to. You want to make it a little bit easier, make your character inventory size massive, blocks, you can make that huge. If you want to get rid of a little bit of the challenge, I guess, or the difficulty, same with all your welder, grinding, stuff like that. And one thing, especially with Scrapyard Survival, unless it's already on, it's not. So now, share inertia tensor is something that you have to add here. And if you don't save and come back and edit the settings, you're not going to have share inertia tensor on, which is very important for cranes and stuff like that. All the other settings, I leave them. They work perfectly because Splitsies made the scenario very balanced. And that's pretty much it. So you can go ahead and hit OK, and then you can load from there. It'll add the mods that you added. You can add all kinds of mods if you want. One that will make the grind a lot easier. As something like planetary derelicts, there's tons of other MES structures and scrap buildings and whatever they're called that you can add. So you can definitely customize it to your liking. All right, we're back in. So we should have the mods that I added. So like now you can go on there and you have your build vision. You can go through and change all of your settings this way. And it definitely makes it a lot easier, especially with Scrapyard. So if we hop into the rover, just real quick, and you can go ahead and just kind of drive around a little bit. The gyroscope is not complete, by the way. So don't go driving all crazy or anything. And all you have to do, you just need to drive around until you see a red signal pop up. Should be something like a scrap or salvage signal. And they pop up very quickly. They're not up for very long, but it'll give you the direction that you need to go. And they're not going to spawn like crazy. Like you're going to have to drive around. But once you drive around for a little while, you will start seeing the signals popping up. Right there. Scrap abandoned settlement. And you can see it pops up very quickly and then goes away. When you get a little bit closer, you'll see these white targetings pop up. Makes it a little bit easier to completely find them, especially when they're small. And it looks like this one is rather small. I mean, there's tons of different structures. You got giant hangars, airplanes, helicopters, you name it. Obviously, just starting out, this one's probably going to be a little bit small. You're not really going to have much in it. You might be able to get some basic construction components, interior plates, stuff like that. Yeah, nothing major. You got some stairs though, and those are going to have small steel tubes, interior plates, construction components. So you literally can just go around and grind what you need. Conveyor pipe ends. None of these have motors in them, but sometimes they'll have motors and stuff like that. And I think these are just beams, so you got tons of steel plates. So another one just pinged up over there. And that's where the compass comes in very handy. So we know it's a north-northeast, 3.5 kilometers that way is going to be the next structure. Well, that right there is why you be careful driving around without a gyroscope. But it's actually a good point. You have a survival kit on the starter rover. You can't build survival kits. You have to find them. And they're probably not going to be complete, which means that you'll have to eventually be able to build them back up, which is why you want to be very, very careful driving around. Now, some people play where, like I just wrecked my rover. Fuck, I'm going to keep playing that way. Or you can just reload your autosave. Play how you want to play. But that was a good time to point out that can't build survival kits or anything, so best of luck. I'm actually going to hop into spectator real quick because there is another scrap somewhere around here. Alright, so this actually brings up a good spot as well. See all these batteries and beacons and whatnot. So those are supposed to, that's what makes the signal pop up intermittently. And they should delete by the time you make it over to them. So I think, yeah, this is the one that we were coming towards. If they don't, however, you'll probably have to go into creative tools and delete it, which isn't a huge deal. But so like right here, you can see it's a old beat up rover, and you can grind down wheels, get some large steel tubes out of these and whatnot. You just take all the parts and piece them together, make any sort of contraptions and whatnot that you want to make, and play the game however you want. It's definitely a very, very fun scenario. So I hope that this video helps out a little bit, especially for those who have never played but want to play. Very simple to set up. It's well made, very balanced, and works very well. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to point out as well, because of the new contact update, you are going to run into structures spawning from that. I ignore them. They're way too overpowered for a scrapyard type scenario. But the contact update came out afterwards, so it hasn't been updated for it. So they are still going to pop up. They'll show up with white signals. I'm surprised one didn't show up in here, but you can choose to use them or not. Myself, I don't use them. I delete them because they'll just be way too overpowered, in my opinion. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please leave a like. It helps the video get out to other people. Subscribe if you want to see some Scrapyard scenario series as well as regular survival. And hopefully in the future I'll be playing Space Engineers too. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.